Ozzy's and Sabbath's last show. Was it even good or was it... Yeah, just like every one of you, yesterday I just checked the last Black Sabbath performance. Sadly for me, it was online streaming, not a actual presence in Birmingham, England. It is pretty hard to afford a trip to England, but luckily for us, online streaming is available, so I checked the show and I have a lot to say. It was a 10 hours concert non-stop of bands after bands, legendary bands, one after another, super groups and dozens of legendary musicians performing their songs and Sabbath songs, which wasn't a good thing every time, but sometimes it was, so... For me personally, I'm a fan of Ozzy since 2009. I bought a pirated compilation of his albums in 2009. It was every album of Ozzy solo career. I was just curious, why this man? Why is he a legend in pop world because of the Osbourne show and music world because of his metal career? And I was like, I need to buy this CD to check just what the hell happened. And since then, everything changed. In 2010, I met the man IRL. Before his performance in Moscow, before his show in Moscow, he decided for some reason to do a signing session, autograph session. And I was like, he's today signing shit. I'm coming. And I remember this moment like it was yesterday, but it was 15 years ago. For me, it was already a year when I was listening to Ozzy's stuff. I didn't listen to Black Sabbath at all back then. And I bought his newly released Let Me Hear You Scream CD. Just for this occasion. And I remember I'm looking behind the corner and I'm seeing the man himself sitting. He was so small. He was just like me. And I was like, wow, it is Ozzy freaking Osbourne. Even back then in 2010, he was already a huge legend for me. Just after a year of listening to his stuff, I was already, this is Ozzy Osbourne. This is insane. I'm seeing this man. And I was so shocked that I didn't talk to him. I didn't shake his hand. I didn't interact with him at all. I bet he didn't even look at me back then. He just signed my CD. I was talking to his assistant, Tony, I believe his name was Tony, and his manager, and I talked to them. I barely spoke English back then, but it looks like I spoke some. They were asking me questions like, where are you from? Oh, you're coming to show tomorrow? And I was like, I was looking at Ozzy and talking to them, and I was like, yes, I'm from here, yes, I'm coming tomorrow, yes. And I was just so shocked by the fact that this is Ozzy Osbourne. He is today in my city, in Moscow. Because, back then I thought this man, he lives on the other side of the planet. I'm so lucky that I can see him today. And I was really shocked by that fact. I was like, I can't miss this opportunity. And this created core memory in my brain. I saw Ozzy Osbourne. I had this autograph. That was a huge inspiration for me. Then I saw the show. I was sitting in the cheapest places because I was 18. But still, I was so into the music. I was sitting, everyone is just sitting and listening that's a good music. And I was like, yeah. I was so hyped that people around me, they were like, hey dude, can you just not move because you interrupting our experience? I was like, let me hear you. That was amazing day. That was the only time when I saw Ozzy in real life performing his music, and that was legendary. That was good times. I remember I had Nokia Engage back then, and I was calling my friend hey dude, listen to this. After that, I listened to Ozzy's every album. I listened to Sabbath's almost every album, Sabbath's every album with Ozzy on vocals. Makes sense. So long story short, I became a real Ozzy Osbourne fan, I think Ozzy is better known for being Ozzy, not a part of Black Sabbath. But I mean Black Sabbath started Ozzy's career, and they also kind of fathers of metal. Worldwide community thinks that Black Sabbath created metal. And I think it's fair. So Ozzy and Black Sabbath, they're stuck together, despite the fact that most career of the Ozzy Osbourne was his solo career. So okay, just never mind. Don't think about it too much. All my friends, they were also a fan of Ozzy, It was in my circle of friends, it was normal that you listen to Ozzy and you just accepted the fact that he is the legend and you have to listen to him. It was undoubtable, and it was awesome. And I think it's still in my circle of friendship. Some of my friends, they were thinking to go to his show like in 2018, 2019, something like that, but all shows were cancelled because of his health issues. And just recently, I believe it was like a few months ago probably, they announced like they're gonna play last Ozzy show and Sabbath show. Like this is gonna be his last music performance. And when I was looking at Ozzy in his like social media, I believed that because the man didn't look like he can perform anymore. I was like, can he even perform this show? Because like he didn't look too much powerful. And I was hyped for this event. And when the event happened, I just bought my ticket to the online streaming and I was like, there we go. Me and my wife, they were watching this show for the whole day and we have a lot to say. First thing that I noticed that Steven Tyler still can't sing. We are like a huge fans of Aerosmith also, and we are a huge fans of Steven Tyler because he's amazing. And when they cancelled Aerosmith show because of like Steven's voice issues, I believe it was, and I thought Steven Tyler isn't going to sing anymore because even on Slash's newest cover album, he didn't sing, he just performed harmonica. And I thought like, it is done, Steven is no longer capable of singing, that's very sad, but the man like dude almost 80 years. But on this show, he performed like nothing happened. Like Aerosmith didn't stop performing. Like what happened? I'm really happy for Steven. That was an unexpected surprise. Long live Steven Tyler. Hope he gonna perform more. Also, me, my wife, all our friends, we are big fans of Guns N' Roses. And we were stoked to see like Guns N' Roses in the lineup of this event. But for some reason, Axl Rose chose to sing only in like higher register, higher pitched voice, all the songs only in higher register. And I bet everyone noticed that all songs that he sang except Paradise City, probably in my opinion, they sounded bad because of his vocals, because he chose to sing only higher voice. If he chose to sing in lower register, it would sound 100 times better at least. He was singing in higher register, and sometimes you could hear he was like doing these low notes, and it sounded much more powerful and better. But for some reason he wanted to sing all these 5 songs in higher register, and it completely ruined this performance. There was some tempo issues also, but okay, tempo, it was some kind of a probably technical issue, but his decision to sing only in higher register completely was disappointing. We love Guns N' Roses, we love Axl. We just seen him live in Istanbul a month ago. It was amazing. His high register isn't like in the best conditions right now, but he still can give a good performance, especially in lower register. He sounded really good. But in this show, all the songs except Paradise City sounded really cool. Really powerful. Paradise City was cool. Other tracks no, and especially this kinda shame that I really like, Never Say Die. He sang Never Say Die, and it sounded like no good. Never Say Die is one of my favorite songs ever from Black Sabbath. And this performance, like, it was a disappointment. It didn't sound good. Axl chose wrong voice to sing it. Axl, if you're watching this, please consider singing lower register time after time too, because you have like more powerful voice now in lower register. And when you're just singing constantly in high pitched voice, it just sounds flat. It doesn't really need to be constantly high pitch, you know? I love you, Axl. I'm really trying to like be as polite as possible because I really respect Axl. I really love him. I really appreciate all the stuff that he did in like his history. So long live Axl and Guns N' Roses, but this was a weird choice. Metallica. You know, there was a bit of a problem with Black Sabbath covers by different bands. I don't know, I can't say that I was happy with the way James sang Black Sabbath. It it also wasn't the most powerful thing. They did a good job with their own songs, and you can see how, how the comfort zone of musicians exists. Like when James sang Metallica, everything was right. When he was singing like Black Sabbath, you could feel like he doesn't have his proper comfortable position to sing. And also this happened to Lamb of God. I was like, wow, that's interesting how they gonna sing Black Sabbath. They're doing like extreme vocals all the time. And here clearly there's no like place for extreme vocals. And he was trying to sing clean and it sounded... You could tell something was wrong. And then he was trying to sing extreme vocals. And it was like weird, but okay, that's kind of tribute. Everyone here just to have fun and like pay tribute to the legends. That was acceptable. But still, thanks to this show, you can tell like that musicians, even like legends, they are more legends in their specific area, in area that they created. Like they are legends in their songs, and when they need to just cover something else, they also can sound bad for different reasons. Big surprise for me was that Tobias Forge from Ghost was also here, and he for me is a great example of great musicians that can do anything that he does, because just recently he sang Bohemian Rhapsody somewhere in Denmark television or Swedish television. Goodbye everybody, I got to go. And it was great. I highly recommend you to check this cover for Bohemian Rhapsody. It was great. He has a really great voice, and he's like, movement on stage, his stage presence is so unique. He's really good on stage, he's really good at singing, and he really nailed that Bohemian Rhapsody cover that he did like a month ago. And he really also nailed this Bark at the Moon performance at the Ozzy show. And like Bohemian Rhapsody, Bark at the Moon, these are two completely different sounding songs, but he just know how to use his voice like in the best manner possible. He sounds in every different song always good. Doesn't matter like if it's like old school metal, new school metal, or Bohemian Rhapsody, he sounds always good. I really respect this man. Here on stage, it is something you have to see at least once. His live performances are really, really something. And then Ozzy on his black chair rose up from the stage, and I knew he's going to sit during this whole performance because that was pretty obvious in every photo shoot and like video he appears online. He was always sitting, so I knew that he's going to sit like for this whole performance. And he sang like 4 or 5 songs from his solo career, and when he was singing Mama I'm Coming Home, everyone was crying. For some reason, it was so emotional. All the songs were like, okay, he's singing Mr. Crowley for the last time. What a big deal, right? But during Mama I'm Coming Home, it hit different. That's emotional song, and your brain telling you constantly, he's singing it for the very last time. When you understand it, it hits you even harder. So everyone was crying because everyone saw this, like this old man singing this for the last time. Probably, and you believe this is gonna be the last time because you see the man. I bet a lot of people were like, can he even pull this off? This show off? Can he? I bet lots of people had doubts, In terms of sounding, Ozzy sang everything good. Yeah, his band, like, no comments here. They're doing their stuff professionally all the time. Zach is playing guitar, like, for his whole life, this song, so no questions here. But Ozzy, despite the fact he was sitting, he still is able to sound as Ozzy should sound. He's saying everything good. You could hear that there was no even like backing track or something to support him. There was only one voice of Ozzy, and he did a great job. He still could sing properly. It wasn't some kind of a, just like, oh, old man, why are you doing this? No, not at all. He did his job. The quality of his performance was, as expected, good. Then Black Sabbath came on stage, and it was really something surreal, because even like years ago when they did like last Black Sabbath tour, they performed without original drummer Bill Ward for some reason, I don't know, and it was weird. And when I heard that they go and do this performance with Bill on drums, I was like, wow, really? What was the reason not having him back then? And they came on stage, Bill even took his shirt off. That was funny. He's like almost 80, or maybe 80. Oh, he's just 77, pretty young. But still, he took his shirt off, and it was like, yeah, badass, he doesn't care. He was like, I don't care that I'm 77 years old, I'm going to do whatever I want in front of million people worldwide, I don't care. And this is the right attitude. This is what we need, and this is why we love them. Because the only thing that they care is like to be themselves. This is the only right approach how to live this life. Be yourself. I know this is hard to understand actually. Most of my life it didn't make sense, you know, like be yourself. What does it mean? But at some moment of your life you're like, oh, now I understand. They played good. And I think the best looking of all of them was Geezer Butler. He played like he still, I don't know, 30, 35, 45, something like that. He was fast. You could see he still has energy in him. Tony was like just standing looking at his guitar, and I couldn't understand. Is like just good old Tony Iommi, or was he like I need to concentrate to be able to play it? I was like, you know, I had too much thinking in my brain, like, can this dude still play it? Yeah, I was worried. Maybe for no reason, but I was worried. I was like, come on, dudes, do this. And they did it. They delivered a good performance. Everything was good. Ozzy could pull off every line. Tony Iommi played every riff, every solo as he should. Geezer was like the full of energy. And Bill also was full of energy. He played his drums like he's still playing daily. So the main stars of the show, they didn't disappoint. They did what everybody was expecting from them. They did a good job. They performed these legendary songs, these songs that made them famous for one last time, and they did it good, just like they still young. That was exactly what everybody hoped to see this night. In my opinion, that was the best ending in the music career's history. I couldn't remember the better ending. And one thing that we can learn from Ozzy, his passion of not being the best singer, of not being the best musician, it's just his passion of being a musician. For real, he is not the best singer. He doesn't have like the widest vocal range or something like that. He doesn't have the most beautifully sounding voice. He's not the most handsome guy. I mean, like, he was pretty handsome. He's not famous for his beauty. He is famous for being Ozzy. And this is a job that only he can do. And this is why he's famous, because he is Ozzy and he's the only dude on this planet that can and will be able to be Ozzy. That is why he's famous. That is why he is loved. That is why he is so appreciated. And this is why so many famous people from around the globe gathered this day in Birmingham to be a part of this event of the end of your musical career of legendary Ozzy Osbourne. I just wanted to make this video because I want to be a part of this event in some form. I just want to express my feelings, my thoughts, to be a part of this moment. Because Ozzy meant a lot for me 10 years ago, and he is still meaning a lot for me in 2025. He's a huge inspiration as a musician, as a performer, as a human being, because he's teaching me at least how it looks when you're just being yourself and just doing what you're supposed to do. You're not the best singer, doesn't matter. Just sing if you feel like it's your thing. And people will feel it and people will appreciate it. Thank you, Ozzy, for being Ozzy and for living at the same time with me on this planet. This is a huge pleasure, and thank you. Let's go fucking crazy!